Nick some noise. It's your man, Why Me? We back with an official stream. Y'all know what time it is, man. Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons 118-116. Obviously, dramatic fashion. Cardiac Nick affair. Y'all know what it is, man. Throw a comment in the chat. Let me know you tapped in. I'm not even looking at the chat right now. But, let's talk about it, man. We got a dramatic effort. That's the chat going on. That's my group chat going on. We got a dramatic effort from Jalen Brunson. Another 30-plus point game. And honestly, I want the Pistons to stop complaining. I want y'all to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of discrepancies with the foul calls from the Detroit Pistons. And what I think is every time we get fouls, we get a foul drawn on us, everybody's all happy go lucky. When the Detroit Pistons get a foul call, everybody is up in arms. JB is screaming at the refs. They calling like it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the stat line, we continuously played our game. 20 points from Mikal Bridges, 22 from Anunoby, 31 from Towns, 30 from Brunson, 6 points from Hart. And honestly, we played our game. Again, another 4 out of 5 starters in double figures. Hart held it down with 11 rebounds, 0 for 1 from 3-point, 3 for 7 from the field. He played 41 minutes. Hart is what it is. You gotta live and die with some of the things that he does, but he's still one of our top players and our better defensive players. He continues to keep the ball alive for us and grab those rebounds that we need. There was a sequence in the game where he grabbed the rebound where Mitch was actually running off. Hart came and grabbed the rebound. That rebound almost went to offensive rebound for Cade. So, listen, man, make some noise. It's your man, Why Me? We gonna go through this. I'm not even worried about who's tapped in because I can't see no comments right now. I don't even have my YouTube up, but I'm gonna tap in with y'all. But you see the official stream, and this is how we coming, man. This is how we gonna do it. Pause. So, listen, man. Let's talk about the game from Jalen Brunson tonight. 31 points, 8 rebounds, 30 points, 7 rebounds, 9 of 20 from the field. That was Towns' stat line. And we got an efficient game from Towns, 10 of 18 from the field in 41 minutes for Towns, 39 minutes for Jalen Brunson, the captain, of course. Now, this is the thing. Jalen Brunson shot poorly from 3, 1 of 7 from 3. Now, again, we continuously, going at Schroeder and You know what I'm saying? But we definitely got a good game from Towns, man. 31 points for Towns, bro. 31 points for Towns. Let me mute my phone. 31 points for Towns. You know what I'm saying? Like Towns was able to exploit every matchup. You know what I'm saying? Paul Reed, Duran, Tobias, anybody that was on Towns, Towns was able to cook them. So I'm very proud of the effort that we got from Towns tonight. 31 points, 4 fouls, 10 of 18 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3-point. He had 8 rebounds. He had a dime. Like Towns definitely did his thing tonight, shooting the ball from the field. I thought he played an excellent game. I thought he's been having a great series minus game 2, not getting his hands on the ball for real in the second half. I thought he had a great series. You know what I'm saying? And Towns is one of those players where he can exploit mismatches based on shooting, based on post-up play. Obviously, this season, his post-up game has definitely improved and definitely, going to the lengths of getting his team baskets. So, man, shout out to Towns, bro. Jalen controlled the game, and like I said, I didn't want to see Jalen shooting 27 shots from the field. He trimmed it down. Again, 7 less shots. I said I want to see about 20 shots. He shot 7 less times, 9 of 20. So that's in the 40 percentile of averages. 39 minutes, 30 points. But again, another solid game from Mikal Bridges, man. Mikal Bridges has been having a great series so far. He's been very consistent. Offensively, he's improved his point total this game to 20 points. What Mikal Bridges has done consistently every game, he's stepped it up scoring. He's been more consistent. Would we have loved to get that 3-point to go down in games 2 from Bridges? Absolutely. Absolutely. We would have loved for that shot to go down. We'd be up 3-0 right now. We definitely would have won both games in the Garden, which would have been lovely. You know what I'm saying? With all the stars there, Melo there, 50 there, Joe there, the other Joe there, Marbury there, Pat there, Bernard King there. We would have loved to get game 2. Game 2 would have been nice to get, considering the way we played for the first 3 quarters. Now, in this game, we controlled the entire game in terms of our influence on the game and creating runs, but we definitely gave up momentum in the second half. And the way that this game ended was very poor, not on account of referees, but just on account of the way that the Detroit Pistons like to muck up the game with drawing fouls and quote unquote being aggressive. But as you can see, even the first couple plays of the game, Jalen Brunson hit Tim Hardaway in the face. Tim Hardaway's holding his face like this, like LeBron did the other day. You know what I'm saying? He's holding his face. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happened. He didn't have a cut. He didn't have a scratch. His eyes looked very normal. There was no puffiness to his eyes. He didn't get poked in his eye. He got hit in his face. He probably touched his cheek or, overhand touched his eyelid. He didn't get poked in the eye. He's falling down. He's grabbing his hands. He's limping off the court. You just saw Ja Morant get taken out of the air, and he came back and shot his free throws and did all of that. Tim Hardaway got touched on his cheek. He's falling and laying down on the floor. He's limping off the court. He's going back to the bench. He's blinking like this. Had no problem hitting both free throws. Had no problem shooting threes later on in the game and getting hot. So, come on, man. All of that to say, these fake physical teams always cry when they get the contact initiated on them. These fake physical teams and these fake physical coaches that want to establish physicality for their players, a lot of times that shit is just a bunch of dudes flopping around and trying to draw fouls and trying to draw contact. You got Schroeder running into guys, tripping over their feet. He's flying 3 feet into the sideline. Come on, man. And then y'all want to talk about how y'all so physical. All you do is foul. All you do is foul and all you do is flop and try to create fouls. That's all they really do. And in a game like this, where we're controlling the game, That's what they resort to. That's what players like that resort to when, you even having a good game. You shooting great from the field, but you still got to draw off contact by fouling and flopping and doing all this unnecessary stuff, that is going to get attention from the referees, man. Knicks some noise. It's your man, Why Me. The Knicks win 118-116. You know what I'm saying? If you in the chat, if you rocking with your boy, you know what I'm saying? Let me know how you feel in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what's going on. If you in there, let me know how you feel in the comments, because I told y'all, Knicks in 6, man. We could even do this in 5. We still game 4. We could definitely do this in 5. That end of the game, that end of the fourth quarter was abysmal in terms of, again, the way the game had to be reviewed, the way it slowed down. Just for us to have to do that, shoot from the free throw line 3 or 4 times, the way the game slowed down at the end was terrible. But, we were able to steal that game in Detroit. Again, we controlled the game. We controlled the first 2 quarters especially. So you see what a recipe is, not for disaster, but the recipe for success. The recipe for success is in the basketball distributing to all the players on the team. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson is the excellent clutch player that he is, but it's more advantageous for him to come off the ball early in the game. If he's able to come off the ball early in the game, that allows him to go down the stretch and establish his rhythm and establish his momentum. And that's pretty much what we want to see, man. Jalen Brunson is, again, the clutch player of the year. Congratulations to him. And at the end, we're looking at a scenario where we can beat this team. We can beat this team in a series. They shouldn't be able to out-physical us because most of the physicality in the game is played up here. And we have veteran players who've accomplished more in the NBA so far. And we have veteran players who's even accomplished more at the collegiate level. Blue chip players. Karl Anthony Towns is a blue chip player. Like, we should be able to control the game from that standpoint. OG Anunoby is our highest paid player from contracts perspective in Knicks history. We needed every one of his baskets tonight. So let's talk about the play that we got from OG Anunoby. DOG, 43 minutes, 7 of 17 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. He had 2 rebounds. So what I would like to see is OG crash the boards, but he has an assignment. He has the backcourt assignment, guarding Cade Cunningham, usually stopping that, initiation of the pick and roll. But we got 22 big points from OG Anunoby. No dimes, which means he was completely selfish tonight. Every time he got the ball, he knew what to do with it. He was ready to fire it up. There were times where he had to get a foul or 2 called in his favor, but didn't work out. But at the same time, OG Anunoby was able to help us get to this win. Let's go, OG. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. He's a +2. Not really, nothing about the plus minuses. And now that brings me to another topic of discussion. Free throw shooting. And they want to talk about the disparity, from the line. Let's see. It looks like we had the advantage tonight when it came to free throw shooting, which I like. The Detroit Pistons had it in game 2. Well, it was rather even, but they had it in game 2 in terms of the flow of the way the free throws and the fouls were called. Allowing them to play aggressive is one thing, but they are notoriously hip checking our guys going to the basket. So in order to play defense with your hands, that's us. We're handsy. We get called for the slap downs and those types of things. So I'm glad that the referees were keen on Brunson going to the basket, getting hip checked. Duran and Schroeder, Malik Beasley, Harris, they've all been, Asor Thompson, hip checking, guys going to the lane. Obviously, with their hands up, they're able to influence the direction of our offensive player by just giving them that quick nudge. So that is a foul, believe it or not. That's a foul, just so y'all know. It's a foul, ladies and gentlemen. So let's not get, let's not get uptight about something like that. That is definitely a foul. You know what I'm saying? So if we look at the worst part about it, this man is able to flop and do all types of silliness, and I don't like it. But, with that being said, man, we were able to get the win. I'm about to jump over and see what see what's going on. If anybody else is on, CP and them, they don't usually go on until I think after the post game show from the Knicks. So let's see. You know what I'm saying? Knicks Film School is live. Jay Boogie is live, or Jay Ellis, my fault. Jay Ellis is live. The other dude is live. Nothing But Knicks is live. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay my dues, man. It's your man, why me? But I've been doing this for a while, and I actually hoop. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. Like, I actually play basketball. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes give perspective on the game, and that's cool, but they don't hoop. I be on the court, and I think that's what sets me apart from a lot of dudes talking this basketball. I actually be on the court. I actually could talk basketball from a capable standpoint, from an ability standpoint. And there's a lot of dudes that talk basketball and they don't hoop on a regular. I hoop on a regular. I'm recovering from an injury right now, but I hoop on a regular, a serious injury. But I will be back, you know what I'm saying, to do what I got to do on that court. But I actually hoop. You know what I'm saying? CP and them and whoever's on there is definitely live. But it's Alex and CK. But I actually hoop, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. A lot of dudes don't play basketball. A lot of dudes don't actually be on the court. They watch a lot of basketball. They play 2K. They play video games. They play ball once in a while. I actually play basketball, like, for real. And dudes don't play because they scared to get hurt. I've never been scared to get hurt. I've actually just got hurt. Dudes don't play because they scared to get hurt. And that's really my thing. But I actually hoop. You know what I'm saying? So that's what sets me apart. Knicks win 118-116 in Detroit. We still a first game of 2 games in Detroit. So I don't even want to talk about it, man. What we need to do next game is the same thing. We need to actually establish Towns early. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing with shooting. Shooting is largely inconsistent, not from a standpoint of what we do, but shooting is just one of those things where it can be inconsistent regardless. You know what I'm saying? It could be inconsistent regardless, and you have to establish yourself from a rhythm perspective. And that's why I think the way that the game ended essentially, hijacked our rhythm. But we did allow Tim Hardaway to hit that 3 while we were up 6. Honestly, not wanting to, create any contact with anyone. I do get it. You don't want to establish contact with anyone, but we did allow Tim Hardaway to hit that three while we were up 6. And so from there, we had to grind it out the rest of the game. We had to grind it out the rest of the game, and that's what made us have to go into somewhat of an extra session, somewhat of a overtime within regulation to get out of that. They scored 6 points, and we only had to score 2. We were up 6. We get to 118, they get to 116, while we were up 116 and 110. And so the ending of the game was terrible. I thought we got robbed out of a free throw attempt. Because honestly, if Jalen Brunson intentionally missed the free throw, the rebound should have taken at least 0.3 seconds. And so therefore, there would have been no ability to get a shot off. But since whoever was working the clock started the clock on the miss, on the contact with the rim, that created extra possessions for this team. It created extra possessions for the team. And so, like, what we doing, man? Get the clock situation together. Because that essentially allowed them to, to do more. So, Knicks win. We still get that dub, man, but, dramatic fashion, of course. And we just need to do better with closing out games, playing with the lead. Like I said, we played with the lead the entire game. For the most part, there was a lead change or two. But as I stated in the game 2 recap, we must do a better job with playing in the lead. As soon as the second half started, we just squandered a 13-point lead. Just gave it up. And then we had to fight. Whereas we controlled the first 2 quarters handily. Suns, Oh, mic check, mic check. Let me put a mic. Yeah, so you got to get the kinks out. What are you talking about? Yeah, so you got to get the kinks out. What are we talking about? Make some noise. It's your man, Why Me? Mic check 1 2. Yeah, so you got to get the kinks out. What are we talking about? Make some noise. It's your man, Why Me? Mic check 1 2. Yeah, so yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely on a great path right now. Like I said, 118, 116. We control this game handily all game. I would like to again see more production from Deuce McBride. We gotta get Deuce. You know, he definitely had a great shot. And I believe that was in the third quarter. Let me get my mic right. Let me get my mic right. He definitely had a great shot in the third quarter. And we live, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like what happens with what our squad is, we get caught up in that routine of playing basketball. We get caught up in that routine of, just doing things rudimentarily, rhythmically, whatever you want to call it. And the object and the real problem is that sometimes cats just get bored being really good. But we got to keep our foot on these young boys' necks, man. We can't give these dudes no confidence. That's the thing. We got to be confidence busters. Because what happens is you give too much confidence out, then, obviously it is what it is. They're going to start drinking the Kool-Aid. They're going to start drinking the Kool-Aid thinking that they could take over. And this is what happens too. Like the level of physicality, you could call it what you want. We're doing a great job of matching it. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that when we get the acting foolish, that's when the coach got an issue. That's when they complaining. All you see is JB Bickerstaff screaming at the ref all game. Like you don't agree with none of the calls, bro. You don't agree with none of them. Like y'all ain't foul us no time, huh? You don't agree with none of them joints, huh, bro? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we just fouling ourselves out there, right? Yeah, like we fouled y'all. We fouled you too. And I'm cool. I'm cool with the foul calling. As long as you calling it either way, like you call it both ways at all times. If you call it both ways at all times, then nobody has a problem with it. But you got to call it both ways. That's the thing. And then like they get upset when the foul is on them. As if they're not fouling all the time. Hip check, hip check, hip check, out of bounds all the time. You know what I'm saying? As if they're not fouling. So where we fall short is, hey, listen, man. We don't participate in that. You know what I'm saying? We don't participate in the floppage and all those things. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, George contact, he tries to draw charges, that's fine. But the flying around the court, the tripping over basketball players' feet and all this, like running into guys, acting like somebody pushed you, jumping in the air, throwing yourself around. That's the antics that I don't like. That's the antics that I don't respect. That's the antics that I don't respect. There's no place for that. But everything else is solid, man. Everything else was solid. You know what I'm saying? The game was solid. And we didn't really need to get into all them antics, man, to be honest with you. So I like how we remain poised. You know what I'm saying? There was a time or two where I didn't like the shot selection, but I like how we remain poised. I like what Jalen Brunson did. Obviously, winning clutch player of the year. He comes up with a clutch performance. So I like that we were able to, you know, establish ourselves offensively in the first and second quarter. They had to expend all the energy in coming back in the third quarter, even though we kind of squandered the lead. But we also, you know, showed resolve. And again, y'all want to talk about lineups? The lineup was the lineup. We don't want to see unfamiliar guys in the playoffs. We going 9 deep. And we don't want to see like real, you know, guys unfamiliar to crunch time minutes. We don't want to see that. That's going to hurt us more than you think when we got players in there that aren't familiar with the pressure. And that's where 9, we going 9. We go 10 is a problem. 11 is a problem. Somebody got hurt. 9 is 9. And guys are still in minutes. I mean, Shaman stole a couple of minutes. McBride, again, clutch 3 from the corner. We got 4 points from Payne, driving to the basket. And we got a putback 2 from Mitchell Robinson. Me screaming at the TV right now, me screaming at the television, is throw the lob to Mitch. Snake, dribble, cross, throw the lob, bro. And I don't know, like somebody in my chat asked me if Mitch is hurt. That's a very good question. I don't know. But he's playing tough. He's playing through whatever physical ailments that he might have. We still have to protect Mitch as well. Like, we can't just allow Mitch to go reckless, balls to the wall. Like, provided that we win this series, we need Mitch for next series, and it's going to be even more difficult. Porzingis got bust in his head yesterday, too. Split his joint all the way. I don't even know what that was about. But man's had blood all in his wig and everything, bro. All up his face, Band-Aid, like, his joint got cracked. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, the Knicks win 118-116. This is the live stream, post-game, recap, analysis from your man, Why Me. We just kicking it, too. We just chatting. We just talking. I hit the squad. They talking about they going to come on live. They talking about they ready to come on live and all this, that, and the third. Y'all ain't ready, man. Where y'all at, bro? I told them to hit my line, call into the show, and leave their thoughts. Hey, dudes acting scared. You know what I'm saying? I told them to call in. Where y'all at? You know what I'm saying? Dudes acting nervous. Now they, you know, call it, hit the jack, bro. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Knicks win 118-116. Dramatic fashion. Again, it was a tale of two halves. But we were able to control that second half, man. I think the most important thing is establishing position as close to the basket on these dudes as possible. Because they're going to get the credit for being able to, withstand the physical contact on defense, provided they don't flop. But they're going to get the credit when it comes to playing defense. For some reason, we're not going to get the credit for playing defense. So what happens is we get drawn into continuously trying to make contact with him, contact. We get drawn into that. And we can't play that game. That's not our game. Our game is just execution and being mentally and physically prepared. That's our game. That's our game. Our game is execution. Their game is drawing contact, flopping, like saying they physical, but they not really physical. That's their game. Like, our game is just solid execution. We go to the basket, we get fouled, we get fouled. Solid execution. Jalen Brunson get thrown around. We still focus on execution. A lot of these teams focus on drawing contact and flopping and drawing fouls. Like creating contact and then throwing their bodies around. That's what they focus on. That's what they specialize in. We specialize in execution as a team. As a team. Not just like individual players, but as a team. We specialize in execution. That's us. They are contact drawers. You get hit in the face and then you holding your face. Holding your face, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dog. That's my problem, bro. That's my problem with these teams, and they want to call themselves physical all the time. You know what I'm saying? They want to say, oh, we physical, we blah, blah, blah. Soon as you get touched, you crying about it. As soon as you get touched, like the second, within the millisecond that you get touched, you crying about it. Your coach is screaming at the refs. For what, JB? For what? Your team creates the most contact with us. They always touching us. Your team creates the most contact with us. But you have a problem with what the referees are calling. Every game, even when y'all was in control of the foul situation in the first game and the second game. There's never like an equitable foul call for these guys. There's never like equity in terms of like calling the foul. How are we the only ones that we foul? Your man flops. Like, there's no way Schroeder is getting thrown around like that. There's no way. These dudes just got Ja Morant out of the game, man. It's crazy. The flopping has to be contained. Like, it needs to be called out. It needs to be called out. Like, there's one of those things. This is one of those things where, like, mentally, though, the guys just stayed locked in, man. And I appreciated that. It was good to see. Guys just stayed locked in. Because the main thing with these cats is staying locked in. You know what I'm saying? It's staying locked in. The main thing is staying locked in, and everything else will sort itself out. You know what I'm saying? But we played an excellent game. Controlling the entire game. From a control perspective, the game was ours. It started with us, and it ended with us. And that's what I like to see, man. Nick some noise. It's your man, Wami. Got to stop giving up pick and roll lobs to Jalen Duren. I don't like that. Too many pick and roll lobs to Jalen Duren. Too much leaving him alone. He's an aggressive player as far as getting dunks and layups. He goes to the basket. He's strong. He got vertical ability. Like, too many of that. Like, yo, We got to do better with that. And that was my biggest issue with the defense tonight, was to give up baskets to Duren and Paul Reed. So we have to be able to withstand that punch from, the bigs that they have. There's no Stewart. But see, with Stewart, you're not really going to get a lot of points. He's going to negate some points, but he's really not supposed to score at all. So having Reed in the game, having Duren in the game, those dudes actually get to the rim. Isaiah Stewart is just one of those guys where, you allow him to just draw 6 fouls and get on the other player's nerves, and that's life. That's his game in a nutshell. So we got to make sure that we neutralize any of the bigs that they have, because, again, Paul Reed's 6 points in the second game was the difference in what we lost by. All 6 of them. We keep him off the glass, we win by 6. We keep Dennis Schroeder from hitting some 3-pointers, we win by 8. We win by 12. We win by 9. So listen, man, we got game 3 looming. Let's talk keys to game 3. We obviously still on the road. We want to steal this game, and I'll tell you how. Again, we have to withstand the shooting of the Detroit Pistons. This is where we're being beat and having to come back from huge deficits. The outside shooting for this team is overachieving. It's like the overarching difference maker in this series. They're overachieving from outside shooting. They're getting points from guys such as Dennis Schroeder, who don't generally get points. Like regular season wise and postseason wise, he's not known as a scorer. Why is he hot from 3? He's not a scorer. So, we're slightly favored to win game 4 in Detroit. Jalen Brunson will be going in averaging 26 points, and Cade will be also going in average 26.1 points. In this particular series, however, Jalen Brunson is averaging over 30 points in this particular series. Jalen Brunson has scored over 30 points every game, or has had at least 30. And so in this particular series, we're going shot for shot here. But a 30-point game from Towns, a 30-point game from Brunson, let me get my man his one. A 31-point game from Towns and a 30-point game from Brunson, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? Nick some noise. It's your man, Why Me. If you tapped in, bro, if you got the number, call in. Let me know your thoughts on the game. You're going to be live on a mic. If you got the number, call in. Holla at your boy. Nick some noise. The Knicks win 118-116. Cardiac Knicks, dramatic fashion. Getting them up out of here. We got to get them up out of here. 6 games rest. Boston. Boston might sweep. And we're going to have to take Boston at least 6 games to even have a chance. Jason Tatum is slightly injured with a wrist injury. But with that said, I don't really see any weaknesses, with that team. But totally, what we need to totally focus on is getting out of this series uninjured, fully healthy, as little fatigue as possible. And learning our lessons. So from the mistakes that we made offensively and the mistakes that we made defensively. You know, if you want to talk adjustments, I think Tom Thibodeau made fantastic adjustments. I think the players on the court made amazing adjustments. You got to make more. You got to make more adjustments on the court than you do from the coaching box. The adjustments have to be made from the players. Like, so this is why we got players that have played with each other at other levels. For communication. For the reason of communication. Like, if guys can't communicate, why are you playing on this team? This is why we got those types of players that are familiar with each other's games. So it should be easier for them to communicate on the court or have some type of understanding of how each other plays. Am I right? You know what I'm saying? So from there, it's uphill, man. It's uphill for this team continuing to play well, continuing to play hard. We need a gun, though. But we're not going to talk about the current roster as it's constructed right now. But we need a gun. We need a 6'8", 3-point shooting, defensive, assisting, young basketball player to join our roster. After we defeat the Detroit Pistons, after we potentially defeat the Boston Celtics, and after we go to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Nah, let me stop. Let's get out the first round first and we can talk about all that. Knicks some noise. It's your man, Why Me. We live. You see, I got the setup. I got the treatment. I've been live for like almost an hour. I ain't seen nobody. Ain't nobody hit me up yet, but it's all good. Love is love. Y'all gonna get more familiar with the kid, man. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, we doing what we gotta do, bro. Like, Knicks some noise. This is one of the first live streams I've done, especially from a post-game standpoint. So we lit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get the balance right. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we can definitely set up what we need to set up. I got the banner at the bottom. Episode 14. Hit me up, nicksomenoise@gmail.com. If you got questions, if you want to feature on a show, you want to do an interview, you know what I'm saying? You want to drop something, hit me up, nicksomenoise@gmail.com. I might drop a phone number or two, but like I said, if you the homie, if you family and you got the number, hit me up. If you on WhatsApp, hit me up. I know y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like, so what the main thing is, though, the main thing is, again, establishing Towns early. OG Anunoby even having that game that he didn't have this time. We can establish the dog. You know what I'm saying? We establish the dog. We get the dog established, bro. Y'all in trouble. We got 22 from the dog. We got 20 from Bridges, 31 from Towns, and 30 from Brunson. And we only won by 2. That's a problem. We only won by 2. We only won by 2, man. Tim Hardaway Jr., what? This series, Jalen Brunson is averaging, let me see. He had 34 points in the first game. He had what? 30, 32 or 33 in the second game, and having 30 this game. 34-37. That's right. 34-37. That's 71 and 30. That's 100 points already. 101. So he's averaging like 33 points this series. Towns cracked 30 tonight. So we looking in a positive, man. We looking in a positive. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see more defense played on the perimeter, but for that team, those are high percentage shots. But I would like to see more defense played on the perimeter from our guys. Like Josh Hart is roving But again, we need Josh Hart to roll because those loose basketballs, they bounce funny. And Josh Hart has been able to snatch all of them this series. He's been able to snatch all of them this series. And that is, essentially what a difference maker does. That's what essentially like your better role players do. They are able to track the basketball. Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, they're excellent at tracking the basketball, and that does beg the question: like, is Mitchell Robinson 100%? Is he fully healthy? Because Paul Reed was able to match his athleticism, and definitely he out hustled Mitch. And so again, it begs the question: is Mitchell Robinson fully healthy? Whether he is or he isn't, he's doing an amazing job on the glass, offensive rebounding, getting steals, like playing the passing lane. Like guys try to throw the ball over his head, and he's jumping in the air, like snatching the basketball. He's snatching the basketball out of the air. Mitch is a beast out there. And like I said in the last show, like we need to just be able to get Mitchell Robinson them lobs, man. Towns tried to get it to him, but it was a little bit too hot, too fancy. You know what I'm saying? Create lob, interior passing. Not like that, because Mitch is not a post player. He's really coming to set the screen for you and create a misdirection. So you could throw it back. And that's gonna happen, man. I promise you. Like Towns might figure it out because the two big man lineup leads to the ability to interior pass. And once Mitch understands that, he'll be a better Rudy Gobert, like a more coordinated Rudy Gobert, because Mitch can actually dribble from the top of the key and do stuff that, obviously is not shown in the game. But we know Mitch has somewhat of a handle. And if he chose to, or the play broke down, he can get to the basket. We know this. We've seen this. We've seen it, on Instagram. But Mitch can do a few things with the rock. But, it's just that his role is what his role is. But, man, with that said, I'm super proud of the win that we got tonight. I'm super proud of the way the team remained organized. It wasn't as chaotic, but we got to definitely do something with this Schroeder guy and all this flopping, man. He is a serial flopper, and I don't like it. But outside of that, man, we did what we had to do offensively. Mikal Bridges, solid game all the way around. Defensively, I love the way he stepped it up. You know what I'm saying? Like there were times where, that team had no business getting a foul called on them. There were times where we got hit 3-4 times, and we're not sitting up here crying. But as soon as they get touched, he's screaming at the refs. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's da-da-da-da-da. Like, bro, you're doing too much, my guy. Doing too much, man. Doing too much. And then we're sitting up here like, oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Like, we just continue to play. We continue to execute. There's not any slacking in the macking. Knicks some noise. It's your man, Why Me. Knicks win 118, 116. Buckets from Towns, buckets from Brunson, buckets from Bridges, buckets from the dog. Rebounds from Hart, assists from Hart. We need buckets from McBride, bro. Come on, Deuce. More baskets, bro. More aggressiveness, man. Challenge them. But you doing what you got to do. And I appreciate him for showing up in some capacity. But we need some baskets from you, dude. Set this thing apart, man. You are the better role player. You are the better role player. Beasley is not the better role player. He caught my man OG, though. But he's not the better role player. Get that Thompson twin out of here. Get him out of here. Get Duran out of here. Get them out of here, man. We don't need to see them no more. And we definitely don't need Shaq and all these guys talking about how we're a disappointment, we're a letdown team. We don't need that. That's what we don't need. We don't need that. We don't need Stephen A. going on tomorrow being disappointed and all those things. It's just for the ethics and the aesthetics of real basketball. You know what I'm saying? You had guys that say, I was Dort that took Ja Morant out the air. Well, nah, Dort slipped. I don't know. It didn't look intentional. But it was kind of, I don't know. It was awkward, man. Ja's not playing for the rest of the series. Jimmy Butler may or may not play. Jimmy Butler is worse than Ja because Jimmy Butler is on the other side of 35 falling like that. Ja's still in his 20s. You know, Jimmy is an older gentleman. Knicks win 118-116. It's your man, Why Me, holding down the live stream tonight. Man. But shout out to all the other content creators out there. Shout out to all the other Knicks content creators because we need to establish ourselves, bro. And we need to rep on another level because we're not getting the credit that we deserve. We're not getting the respect that we deserve as a basketball team, as an organization. But we need to create that respect. We need JB. We need Josh Hart. We need Towns. We need Brunson. We need Josh Hart. We need Towns. We need Bridges. We need Anunoby. You know, we got this squad locked up for a few years. Some of these guys are on till the 2028 season. We definitely got to re-sign Mitch after next season, but we got Mitch for another season. So this team is stable. Like, this is going to be the run. But we need somebody. We need a shooter, man. We need a consistent 4 makes a game 3-point shooter consistently. You average 3.5 3-point made a game. Consistently though. Because if you averaging 3.5, that means you really making like some nights you giving us 6. One night we get 4. Then one night we get 3, but those is all wins. Those is all good threes and consistent shots. Beautiful looking shots. How many shots? It's your man, Why Me, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. I want to thank y'all for watching wherever you are. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you are. Appreciate everybody tuning into the live stream, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. The Knicks win 118-116. We win by 2. We win by 1. As long as it's a W in a column, it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Peace, parishioners, onlookers, listeners, visitors. Keeping Knicks some noise conspicuous. It's your man, Why Me. We out.